So I'm gonna make this video because I'm just gonna get flat out and to the point blunt because I don't like sugarcoating shit. But I was thinking about this, you know what I'm saying? Because I was having a talk with Emmanuel yesterday about parenting. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of our black families got generational curses on them. They got generational curses from alcoholism, from bad parenting, from no dads being around, to whatever it may be that our parents did to us and we grew up and we did it to our kids, or they grew up and did it to their kids and then they grew up and did it to their kids. With me, it was alcoholism. I had alcoholism running my family, and I just didn't want my kids to feel what I felt. I didn't want them to see what I saw. So me as a teenager, when I was dealing with it, I said, when I had kids, I'm never gonna do that to my kids ever, you know. And that's exactly what I grew up and did. You know what I'm saying? My mom was alcoholic, and I didn't want to deal with that. So I didn't drink with my kids, you know what I'm saying? So yesterday I was talking to Emmanuel, and he was talking, oh yeah, when my sons get older, I'm kicking them out the house. And it's like, you know, why would you do that? Because when he was being raised, that was done to him. So if my mom used to say the apple don't fall too far from the tree, which means how your parents raised you is basically how you're going to raise your kids. But you had an option to break that curse. And I said, well, why would you throw your sons out? And first thing he said, well, because that was done to me. Well, just because it's done to you, you have the option to stop that curse. You know, like, do you feel like that was the right thing to do? You know what I'm saying? Well, do you feel like that's the right thing to do, to kick your kid? Even if your kid is doing good, why would you kick them out? You know what I'm saying? Just because it was done to you don't mean that it was right. You know? So we go back to you got a lot of moms out here that will sit up here, cook dinner for their boyfriends, and will not feed their children. I'm sorry. I cannot be one of those parents. If I cook food in this household, I'm going to be like now to the day I grow old till I can't cook anymore. If I cook dinner in this household, everybody's going to eat. I'm sorry. I can't sit up there and be a parent that will feed a nigga but don't feed my kids. Oh, no. I don't care if my son is living here and he 32. I don't care if he got a whole family and he just decides to come over and I cooked. If I cook that day and anybody come over, we're all going to eat, because that's just like, who could do that? That's dysfunctional. I can't do that. I can't live like that. No, I'm going to always feed my children. My children could be old as hell. They could be 40, 50, and 60. If I cook some goddamn chicken that day and they come over, y'all want some chicken? Go get y'all something to eat. That's how my heart's going to always be. I can't be one of those moms that feed a nigga but don't feed my kids. Even if my kids is grown as hell, that's not the images that I want to put in my child's head. See, when my kids grow up and they become grown men and they have their own kids, I want them to think back. I want them to have good examples to look back at. Like, you know what? My mom was crazy as hell, but she always made sure we ate. My mom might have did this, but my mom was a mama. You know what I'm saying? That's the image that I want. And I don't think that we as parents in 2021 really think about our kids having that image. It's all about us and what we feel at the time or what we think is right. You know what I'm saying? Like kids that seen their moms argue with their dads and kick the dads out. You know what I'm saying? The dads ain't around. Okay. Do you really want your kids to grow up and be dysfunctional like that? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you do have to make a choice on whether go. Right now it's 2 o'clock. Go. Sometimes you do have to make the choice of where you have to be the bigger parent if the other parent isn't acting right, and you have to put a pause on stuff. Just like I was telling y'all about the video the other day about how my son father just, you know, that immature shit about dealing with your girlfriends, and you know, like it's so immature. You know what I'm saying? Lack of communication, irresponsibility. You know, like I don't believe in snap. Micah, go get on the computer. I don't believe in a child not being in his father's life. But if you're a father that's not being responsible, Micah, go upstairs right now. You are not on the computer. You standing down here talking to me. Get on the computer right now. Your teacher is on. Micah! See, I don't believe in all that extra talk back. I be to pop you in your mouth. Like, I think that boys need their dads. But if a dad is not in a proper position to be a dad, then I feel like I have to be the bigger parent and intervene. Because this one thing right here, a lot of us want our kids' fathers to be in their lives, you know what I'm saying? And that's all good. That's like, you know, that's the best. But if a dad isn't being responsible and he's doing stuff that could possibly bring attention, meaning not really properly taking care, and I'm not talking about buying things material, I'm talking about taking care, watching, showing what's right, keeping an eye out on your kid, actually watching your kid, watching what the fuck they do, looking at their behavior, looking at who they play with, actually interacting with your kid, not just picking your kid up, buying your kid something, giving your kid money. No, parenthood goes way further than that. You know what I'm saying? So if my kid's father just want to pick his son up, take him over his girlfriend's house, not really watch him, and then my son getting in all types of shit like he did when he was over there. He broke his phone. Him and this little boy, which is his dad's girlfriend's grandson, they always play, and you know, and he's doing this, and he's getting slapped, or he not getting properly fed right. You know what I'm saying? If he's not watching him, if something happens in that household, if something happens to him, because his dad is not the full custodian, whatever you want to say, he's not the full, I'm the full-time parent, I'm going to get in trouble for it. You know what I'm saying? So his actions can actually affect me if you're not being if you're not parenting properly. You know what I'm saying? You're just picking your son up, that's it, but you're not really watching him, and something happens over there, I'm going to get in trouble also. It's not just him, it's going to be me too. And then if I got other kids, they're going to get involved too. So therefore, rather than go through any of that, if you're not a parent and you ready to be fully responsible, guess what? I'm going to have to be the bigger parent and step in and intervene. Like, look, I'm not trying to change your life, make you take care of any kids. If you don't want to be a parent, then okay, I respect that. My child cannot come with you if you are not going to watch them properly, if you are not going to treat them how they supposed to be treated. Meaning, if it's time for him to go to bed, why is he still sleeping in his day clothes? That situation right there is another whole story. I think I told y'all about that right there, but it literally really just pissed me off on that thing. It literally really just pissed me off. It did. So what I'm saying is, we have the ability to stop things that we know is bad. We have the ability, but instead we encourage the behavior instead of correcting it, you know. This was something else on my mind. Don't really like tampering with it, y'all know that. But you know, we was all of us, or all of America, was watching the George Floyd trial, and y'all know sometimes my spirit pick up on certain things, and I don't know why my spirit picked up on this. It picked up on it a long time ago. I just never said anything. I always noticed it, and I kept saying, I'm gonna do research on that, because when I was watching the video, I heard George Floyd call out to his mama, and the first thing that came to mind was, is his mom alive? I don't think his mom is alive, you know. So I don't think maybe a lot of people probably picked up on it. Maybe it was just me. Um, when he was on the ground, um, his mom, his mom has passed on. Let me just say that his mom has passed on. But at the time when I seen it, I wasn't for sure. So I was like, I was questioning it. But I had a really strong feeling that his mom was deceased. You know what I'm saying? When he was calling on her. So I don't know if a lot of people paid attention to that. When he passed, when his spirit passed on, his mom was there. Um, I feel like he knew he was about to go. He knew. He did know because he said it in so many words, but him calling out to his mom when he crossed over with her. So everybody says it's a sad feeling, but to know that your mom came when it was time for you to leave this earth is a very peaceful feeling. People won't understand it because most people are not spiritual, but his body was on that ground and it looked sad, but his spirit was with his mom. And what better way to, when you come in the world, you come through your mom, and when you leave the world, your mom comes back in spirit and takes you back with her. So in reality, we was all sad because he died a horrible death, but when he called out to his mom, he knew. So his mom was there with him when he passed away, which I don't know, it's still a bad thing, but we all got our sunrise and our sunset. So a lot of people should know that when he left, when he said mama, he was calling for his mom to help him transition through. Um, that was a very strong, strong feeling. For when you about to leave, the very person you call is your mom. Most of us don't call our moms when certain stuff happen. We don't call our moms. And for you to call your mom at that moment when you're surrounded by a bunch of white men and you a little high off drugs and you don't have control of the situation, and your brain is all over the place. For you to call on your mom is very unusual. Most grown men is not going to call on their mom. But in that case, because he was transitioning his spirit, he called his mom. A lot of people probably didn't pick that up. He didn't want to cross over alone. So, but yeah, about my situation, I have approximately 5 more weeks to go. 5 more weeks or 6 more weeks. 6 more weeks. I'm freaking huge. My waistline is just gone. Gone. I was told when I went to the doctor, this right here, well, the butt was over here, but I don't know if the butt switched to something on this side now. My arm, my elbow, you can see it's kind of tight now. He's moving because I'm pushing it. I don't know what it is, if it's an arm or elbow. He doesn't like me to. Okay, I moved it out the way. It's gone, so he's probably gonna move. I've been messing with him. My due date, they're gonna give me my C-section May 24th, which my birthday is May 20th. So my baby's birthday is gonna be 4 days after mine. I look extremely rough in the face. My face has just really changed during pregnancy. I look like I'm like 80 years old. I look tired. My eyes look tired. I got dark marks under my eyes. My skin is two different tones. My face just does not look like my face. So hopefully after I give birth, my face will go back to looking soft again. It looks hard right now. But anyway, um, I was thinking like, golly, I'm gonna have two kids, two little kids, a 6-year-old and a newborn. God, it's gonna be hard. I really feel sorry for my 6-year-old because, like I said, I was going through this stuff with his dad. And you know what's sad? I ran across an email from 2013 that I had wrote his dad. And the email was talking about, how he just did me so dirty. He just did me really dirty. And I was saying, I did this and I did that. And you steady talk about me. And it's crazy because still to this day, he's still that evil person. Even though we can talk about our kid without getting in any confrontation, I still feel the evilness. I'm still looking back, and years later, you still got your girlfriends coming for me. And for the life of me, I can't understand why she was so. I never text this girl. We was always cool, but I'm just like, why are you so angry? Because I text him. Like, that really bothered me because I thought she was cool. You know what I'm saying? And I guess you just can't trust couples. That's the bottom line. You just can't trust couples. I thought like we was cool enough. But I can't understand why she got mad because I sent a text message to him saying that he not allowed to see him. And it wasn't even him. He never, till this day, when my son slept. And even still, she trying to make up all excuses. Oh, it was beds everywhere, this and that. Even if it was beds, y'all sent my child to bed with his clothes on, hungry. He did not eat, on the floor. And how do they expect me to be okay with that? And he never responded to any of it. My son's father never responded, never said, oh, well, I didn't mean for my little man to sleep on the floor, or I didn't check. He never responded, never said nothing. What does that say to you? What does that say about you as a parent? My son was willing to spend a night over that girl's house because he thought that his dad was going to take him to his house the next day. He never intended on taking my child anywhere but bring him back home. But he was willing to do that for him. And then for him not to address nothing, you didn't say anything. He didn't even call to talk to his child. He didn't say nothing. He just let the girl say what she had to say, and that was it. Like, to me, that's shitty ass parenthood. That's shitty ass parenthood, because ain't no way in the world I'm about to let a situation like that happen and I'm not going to say nothing. That's my child. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to address nothing. You let her. It's just so dysfunctional. It was dysfunctional from the moment my child was created till all the way to now. It has always been dysfunctional. And that is why to this day I just be like, I'm not about to be bothered with it. Some things is just better left alone instead of you trying to force it. And I'm not trying to force it. And any moms out there that's going through a situation where your kid father has girlfriends that keeps interfering with your parenting and want to attack your parenthood, because she did attack my parenthood, told me my child need to take his ass to sleep, told me that she don't know what type of household I got over here. And I'm like, wow, really? You really attacking my parenthood? And I'm not expecting him to. He dysfunctional anyway, so you know what I'm saying, birds of a feather flock together. But one thing, you attack my kid and then you expect me to let my child come back over there in y'all presence? Oh no, 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 no. It's a done deal for that. So whatever, if he don't know what she did, she know what she did. For her to jump in the middle when nothing was even said to her, it was all said to him because he's the father. He need to address the situation. You came and picked your child up. You should have made sure that your child had appropriate clothes if he was going to spend the night. You should have made sure that he ate before he went to bed. And you should have made sure that he had a bed to sleep in before you sent him to bed. You know, all of that right there, that's bad parenting. And they want to take my parenthood, but who the fuck does that? Any kid that come over my house, I'm making sure they take showers. I'm making sure if they don't have pajamas, I'm going to find you some pajamas. I'm going to make sure y'all ate. And I'm make sure y'all got comfortable places to sleep. That's me as a mama. You know what I'm saying? I know all people don't think like that, but I do. So if a person is not thinking parent-wise, I don't want my kid around it, period. Like I said, my kids don't have to go through this horrible shit. Why? They don't have to. I'm not about to, because another parent, because he wasn't raised by his mama, he was raised by his grandmama, and he had a fucked up childhood, meaning his son should have a fucked up childhood. No. Just because he had a fucked up childhood don't mean my child about to have a fucked up childhood. No, my child don't have to, because I was put in a position to be blessed. And I'm not about to entertain the fuck shit. Because if something happened, like I said, I'm not about to be responsible for it. I'm a good parent, and I'm not about to go through the bullshit. So if he don't know how to hop on board and be a dad, guess what? Go live your little miserable ass life. I ain't missing a beat over here. I'm seeing every moment, every opportunity. And when he become a grown man, he gonna say it's because of my mama. You know what I'm saying? My mama's the one that raised me to be like this. My dad was nowhere around. Last time I remember my dad, he was sleeping with his girlfriend. Gotta remember what you do around kids. They don't forget. Their brains is like elephants. They do not forget. They remember everything. And I'm not the type of person to bash another parent at all. I try not to bash other parents, but hell, if it walk like a duck, quack like a duck, it's a fucking duck. If you being a deadbeat, you a fucking deadbeat. I'm not about to take up for you. And that go the same thing as moms. Because you got deadbeat moms out here too that ain't shit. Because they fucking unhappy and they miserable. You know what I'm saying? They want to make their kids miserable as hell. That's wrong as fuck. Let your child live. That's the problem with today's society. We don't let our kids be kids. Kids got to grow up and be fucking adults anyway. They got to grow up in this cruel ass world and face it eventually. So why, when they're little kids, we can't let them be little kids? We can't let them enjoy themselves. Now, that ain't to say you ain't supposed to check a kid when they bad or whoop their ass or pop them in the mouth. But let a kid be a kid. I let my kids be kids. I let my child play. I don't want to expose my child to grown up shit. They gonna be exposed anyway. When life fucking hit them in the face, they gonna be miserable as shit. So while they're young, I want them to experience all the happiness in the world. At the same time, I'm a discipline and correct you when you're wrong. But I want a child to be a child. It's sad when I have to see some kids be faced and put in the middle of adult situations that they shouldn't even be exposed to. They shouldn't even have to deal with certain shit because they're children, but they do have to deal with it because their parents ain't smart enough to be like, you know what, I'm going to let my child be a child. I'm going to let my child live and be happy. A parent want their child to be miserable with them. You miserable. You want your kids to be miserable. You unhappy. Your kid unhappy. Shouldn't be like that. That's why we got deadbeat moms out here and we got deadbeat dads. These kids is lucky if they got a mom that's strong enough to be smart and got her head on right and can balance her life and her kid's life at the same time. Kid got that, you a lucky ass kid to have a strong ass mama like that. Ain't too many mamas out like that nowadays.